Hi, and thank you for joining me on my journey toward inner stillness and just trying to be kinder to myself. So, during our spiritual coaching and counseling class last week, we were asked to fill out 4 questions. Um, how we see ourselves, how others see us, how we want to be, I don't know, whatever the other two were, but the question about how others see us, I felt like was irrelevant. Doesn't make a difference how anyone else sees me. That's their business, that's their judgment. That's fine. So I didn't actually answer that question. And that leads me to, or that reminded me when I was working on a woodworking project yesterday. And I thought it was finished, or I kind of decided it was finished, even though I knew it was a 1/4 inch off. And for me to adjust that, I would have had to adjust the frame on it. So I'd have to do 2 sides. I'd have to put it through my table saw, which is a very small pieces of wood, which was a little challenging, which is kind of why I was like, I don't really care what anyone else thinks. If they see it and whatever. But then overnight I decided it's actually not about what anybody else thinks. It's about what I think. And that when I see this piece, I'm going to realize that it's a 1/4 inch off, and I'm going to see the difference. No one else will see it, but I'll see it. And I think that's an important point because it matters to me that it's actually off. So this morning I figured out how to do it. I actually tested it a little bit so I wouldn't A, chop my fingers off, and B, I wouldn't ruin the pieces that I already had created. And I did it fine. It was totally fine. Again, took a risk, not a big deal, and it was fine. But it made me think, is like, it's not about necessarily what someone else would think, but it's about how I would feel about it. And I would feel so much better if it was done correctly versus if I just like, what's the big deal? Because I knew I would always stare at it and be like, that's a little bit off. And that just ties back around. It's not really about what anyone else thinks. It's not really about what anyone else would notice. It's about how I think and what I'll notice and how I'm going to feel about the project when I look at it, whether it's completed and done correctly or just good enough. And for myself, I want to make sure that things are done well. And it's important to me to feel good about what I'm doing, no matter what anyone else thinks.